Today we're gonna full send it
That's right.
with pork belly.
So today we're gonna do specifically Tocino.
No, wait. Let's go. Damn, dude.
That was a pretty good one. I didn't think it was that like strong.
No, you know I do it kind of frequently, and that was much better than I would do. So this is Dom from Full Send BBQ back again.
What's up?
Or in
Thanks for
case
having
this is
me.
the first time you've seen Dom on camera with us, this is the first time that Dom's been on camera. So, welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
So today, I guess we're doing a pork belly, but I'm going to let you take the wheels on this one, brother.
Yeah. So we're gonna do candied pork belly burnt ends, but today we have our twist, Full Send BBQ's twist on it, and what we do is Tocino candied pork belly burnt ends. What that typically entails is, for those of you that don't know, is Tocino is a traditional Filipino recipe that usually involves some sort of pork. In fact, Tocino's translates directly to bacon. So that's our take on it. Usually involves some sort of like a citrus marinade, soy sauce, and we have some other spices in there as well.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Brother. I love doing like pork belly burnt ends, like for any kind of like barbecue or cookout that we're doing, and like to get your twist on it, especially like the cultural background and everything like that. Like that's what we're all about, because here in Southern California, like this is like the melting pot of different styles of food.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so I'm super excited to go through this with you, and if you want to coach me through what we need to do, I think that's kind of the best way to do this.
Yep. That's too easy. So first to start, we're gonna grab our gloves. Put these bad boys on.
Yep. I don't need to bend over and cough, right?
No, this time you're good.
Okay.
Next one maybe though.
We're not going to use the full slab today. We're just going to do a halfie. And I got to get a tray. I think I have one laying around here somewhere.
Bingo.
There we go.
Cool.
All right, so first step.
So I'm just gonna go right down the middle. I'm gonna cut it in the cryovac. Just makes it easier.
Okay. Now, is Tocino traditionally done with pork belly?
Tocino's traditionally done with any sort of pork.
Okay.
Not specifically pork belly. Sometimes people will use pork shoulder. Sometimes folks will use just other various pieces of pork, just whatever they have at that point.
Nice.
Yeah. So we like pork belly because we like the rendered fat feeling and texture.
Nice. So which side do you think you want to use here?
I think we're gonna go with the meatier side.
Sweet.
This is gonna be the side where you have the skirt on traditionally, so we're gonna go with this side.
Cool.
All right, so we got half of our pork belly slab here. We're gonna go ahead and take it out of the cryovac. Put that away, thank you. So typically when I buy my pork belly, there's skin on. In this case, our good friend here, Eric, bought it with skin off, so that's gonna cut our labor time in half. We're not gonna have to worry about peeling off any of the skin.
Who likes working?
Yeah, first world problems. So at this point, you're just ready to go into it. And what we're gonna try to do is get little cubes here and try to go about 1.5 inches in width.
Don't need to compensate for anything, right?
Nope, not this time.
Okay.
All right. So you want to be careful not to do this too thin because they are candied pork belly burnt ends. So, you know, if they are too thin, you run the risk of it drying out. So get a little bit of girthiness in there.
That's why I brought you here,
That's
because
right.
I don't have a lot of experience with that. Now, this is a menu staple for you guys, right?
This is kind of newer on our menu, but this is something that's kind of been like a home run since we added it on our menu.
Pretty much sell it out every time.
Pretty much, yeah. It is so labor strenuous, so we're only able to bring, you know, X amount every single time.
Nice.
Yeah.
What would you say that is the thing that people order the most?
It's going to be between our Tocino pork belly burnt ends or our brisket.
Okay.
Those are definitely going to be our staple items right there.
Nice.
I would say our brisket more is our flagship item on our menu. Now Filipinos are starting to understand what brisket is too now, because they're typically there for our Tocino pork belly burnt ends, but they come in, try our brisket, and they're like, what is this? We need more of it.
Have you ever considered putting like lechon on your menu?
You know, it is something that we kind of considered at one point in time, and we're still working on formulating the right recipe and the right way to do it.
Gotcha.
So
It's tricky to pull off in mass.
in mash, yeah, it's a totally different beast. You got to make sure everything is right. So we just want to make sure we don't compromise our quality for quantity.
Respect on that.
Thank you.
Cool. So we're all diced up. What's the next step?
So at this point, we just go into our seasoning.
Okay.
So first, we're gonna grab our pan. Thank you. All right.
What kind of gravy?
Let's grab that Blazing Stars right there.
Okay.
Just go ahead and get a nice coat in. Now remember, there is a marinade involved with this, so we're going to season it, get as much surface coverage as we can, and then add our actual liquid marinade.
So it looks like we're all seasoned. What's next?
So we got it all coated with our Blazing Star seasoning. At this point, we're going to start our wet seasoning. And that typically consists of anything like pineapple juice or orange juice, whatever you have available.
Okay.
In our case, we got some pineapple juice available. So we'll go ahead and pop this open.
And just crack it like that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
So that bad boy in. I eyeball everything. I don't typically go by exact measurements, and that's kind of the beauty in barbecue, in my opinion. Put a little bit of that in there.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna get our Maggi seasoning.
And if you could explain to the folks.
Yeah, so this is it's called Hugo on here, but typically you pick it up and it's just Maggi seasoning, and it actually derives from Switzerland, believe it or not. But we like it because it gives it a nice umami flavor, a nice umami texture. Filipinos use it. There you go. That's great. Yeah. Okay, hit some of that in there.
So is this similar to like a Worcestershire kind of vibe?
You know, I would say it's more along the lines of like soy sauce.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah, a lot of Vietnamese folks, they'll put it on their banh mi's.
So that makes sense. Yeah.
All right.
What's your go-to banh mi?
You know, I'm kind of weird when it comes to banh mi. I just like the traditional pork roll banh mi with you know, the eggs, soy sauce, and that's it.
Yeah, the opera. Kind of guy, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Sorry. So there's that. We're gonna need to throw some bay leaves in here.
Okay.
Let's get a couple in there.
One.
Get two more.
Two. Three. And we got our bay leaves in. What are we getting next?
Bay leaves are in, seasoning's in. We just need our sugar and our annatto seasoning.
Okay, there's your sugar.
Start with the sugar. Again, this is kind of our spin-off on how to do the Tocino. Traditionally, you don't add the sugar in our marinade, but they are candied pork belly burnt ends, so we need a little bit of a sweet factor in there.
Well, it's almost like, I mean, this is, you know, reducing it to the point of, you know, silliness, but, you know, the fact that we're using pineapple juice, you know, we have a salt source, we have now some flavor with the bay leaf and now sugar. It's essentially a deconstructed barbecue sauce.
Yep, I mean, it's in our title. It's Texas Filipino Fusion BBQ.
Right.
You know, so
that totally makes sense.
Sugar there. And then we're going to need a little bit of annatto seasoning.
And if you could explain to the folks at home.
So this is ground annatto. It's derived specifically from annatto seeds. It is popular in a lot of Vietnamese dishes too. Like they use it, I believe, in their banh quan or their bun bo way, which is like a tomato-based stew. But the annatto seeds is what gives it that color. We don't have red fruit food seasoning, so we're using annatto seasoning substitute for that.
Gotcha. Also big in Hispanic cooking.
Okay.
You know, for like al pastor, things like that. Perfect.
Good. Put that aside, thank you.
And now do a little mix. Just
give it a little mix.
Now I imagine we want this to kind of sit and kind of pick up some flavor.
Yeah, exactly. So you want this to typically marinate for about 24 hours. Obviously, if you don't have 24 hours or time on your side, you know, even a couple hours is just fine. But generally and typically, you want it for about 24 hours marinating.
Okay. We're going to use a vacuum sealer today just to kind of speed up that time.
Yep.
So I think we're going to let it marinate for about anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour.
Yep. That's
under the vacuum seal, and that'll get us plenty of flavor in there. So I just got to find the vacuum sealer when we get to it.
There you go.
Cool.
Awesome.
Next time you see this, we'll be putting it on the grill, and we'll talk about how we do that later. All right, so our pork belly has been marinating, and I think it's time to get it on the grill. So what's the procedure here?
Yep, that's right. So we're going to pull it out of our marinade here, and then we're just going to throw it directly on our grill.
Sweet.
We'll start by opening this up.
What temperature are we going to go for?
So typically we want to go anywhere between 225 to 275. It just depends on how quick you're trying to get it done for. In this case, we're going to do about 250 to 275.
Perfect. Let's do it. Well, so looks like we got them out of the smoker. They have an amazing bark on them.
Yep.
So I'm assuming that's due to the pineapple juice and the sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get a little more, yeah?
Yep, let's do it.
Well, it's your process, so you tell me.
Yeah, so like you said, we got a nice bark set. When it comes to the braising portion, I look for two things personally. First and foremost for me is bark.
Okay.
And then second I go for feel. We're at that happy medium where we got a nice spark here and we got a good texture to it too. Perfect. So now we're going to finish it off and we're pretty much going to braise it at this point. So to do that, like I said, unless we're working at the restaurant, I do everything by hand or eyeball everything. It's just the way my mom taught me. So we're going to pour a little bit of pineapple juice here. Okay. I'm going to hit it with a little bit more seasoning. Again, we use Glazing Star seasoning.
I can't wait until they invent smell-o-vision.
Oh gosh.
Sweet.
And then we do a copious amount of sugar. And this is what's going to cause its glaze.
Okay.
When it comes to finishing off our Tocino pork belly burnt ends, you kind of want to keep it anywhere between 250 to 300. Definitely don't go higher to 300 because then your sugar just burns.
Gotcha.
So we want a pretty good amount of that. We typically use brown sugar, but again, for the sake of this being available for us right now, we're just going to use white sugar.
Sounds good.
But typically we do use brown sugar. So we got that all in there. We're going to go ahead and just start mixing.
Sweet. Good Lord.
Yep, and once this sugar reduces down, it's going to really solidify and coagulate the pineapple juice in here, so it's going to be like a sticky glaze.
Oh man, that sounds so good.
It's going to be good. Well, now at this point, all we got to do is just wrap it with some foil.
Cool. Let me go grab some. Cool. So back in the smoker?
Back in the smoker, pop that bad boy up at 250 to 275.
All right, so these are done braising. We let them cool off a little bit. They're probably still scorching hot, but we got to go in for a bite.
That's right, yeah. A little quality control.
All right, brother.
Cheers.
Tocino pork belly.
Oh boy. That's meat candy.
Even the baby wants some.
Mm-hmm.
Well, brother, you are a gosh darn magician.
Something like that. I just managed not to burn it.
This is delicious, man. I love all like the unique flavor in that, and it's like super tender.
Thank you.
I mean, yeah, I can see why this sells out every time you sell it.
Yeah, it's definitely something different. Like like I said, you'll see your traditional candied pork belly burnt ends, but there's not a whole lot of Filipino Fusion burnt ends. So that's why we thought we'd capitalize on
Sign me up, man. I'm coming by next time you're selling.
Let's do it, man. We'd love to have you.
Well, hey, thanks again.
Yep.
Again,
Appreciate
down there
you.
with Full Send. Tell them where they can find you.
Yep. So again, we're in Bellflower, California. Follow us on Instagram, fullsend.bbq. And we post weekly on our pop-up schedule and whatnot, so stay tuned there.
Cheers, guys. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you next time.